Church and state, soul and body, God and man are all one at Mont Saint-Michel. And the business of all is to fight, each in his own way, or to stand guard for each other.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Uncut Civilization VI. We're picking up a few turns ahead of where we left off, and things are going pretty damn well. We finished building Mount Saint-Michel. I found out via Sean Beanery that I was saying it wrong. I was saying Mount St. Michael before, but you guys are no stranger to me pronouncing things wrong. We've also been churning out a lot of military units. As you can see, we've got some knights, we've got a few new crossbowmen, and a lot of our units are making their way across my vast lands so that the assault can officially begin on Germany. And I'm feeling a little bit more confident now that I'm actually churning out units at a rather consistent basis. I can build knights in most of my cities in less than 4 turns. Things are going well. Riceland specifically, and Colony and Rogaldorn, they've got really amazing production capabilities, so they can churn out units with great haste. So that has been allowing us to catch up in the science department a little bit. The Knight cost 180 production. 25% of that is whatever 25% of that is. It's like 20 something. So it's helpful. It's a little thing to just push you over the edge slightly. Now, just thinking about trying to get a solid composition of units, we don't have any spearmen, and the last time I saw Germany, they had a lot of horse units, a lot of cavalry units. So I'm gonna try to produce at least 1 spearman, maybe not necessarily from Fish City, because they could use a bit of extra housing at this point, because that's something that's holding them back a bit. I always get to this weird point when I'm going full military mode where I want to start doing other things besides building military units, but I think in this instance I should just bite the bullet and go full on military. Now, Rogaldorn, I always click the wrong production thing. Rogaldorn does not currently have an encampment district, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 1 more turn before I start building military stuff from them. Put an encampment next to my giant mountain with the Saint Michel on top of it, and then I will start building military units with the unique building, so I get science for that. I'm trying to optimize this as much as possible so that hopefully I can catch myself up and get back in the game. Now, Costa de Ira Dulce, it's a beautiful looking city. I believe this is the only city I have. Yep, Costa de Ira Dulce is the only city that I have that is not starving for amenities. And hey, it's the coast of sweet air. How could anybody be sad here? So that's pretty nice, but that's kind of irrelevant to my main point. They're going to churn out a few more units as well, because they have a workshop and the unique building as well. May as well get a pikeman from them. It'll take them a little while to walk to where the battle will be, but that's okay. And finally, Colony. Screw it, 1 more pikeman. So that'll be 3 pikemen. I feel like that's enough spearmen to have. And I'm spreading out my envoys just a bit so I can get some extra science, because, you know, we saw last time that my science is severely lacking. I've bumped it up to 97 a turn, but Catherine de Medici, whatever Catherine, has nearly 400 science per turn. She's gonna nuke me before I can do anything with all these knights and swordsmen and whatnot. It's a bit disconcerting. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a bit worried that I am quite literally going to get disintegrated by nuclear warfare before I have a chance to fight anyone with conventional means. But that's the risk that you run. And since we did put on that unit discount thing, we can go ahead and upgrade our units. Aethelfeld is now providing us with some benefits. We're no longer getting that extra bonus from our unique horsemen, so we're not going to be able to stack great generals anymore. And at this point, Sun Tzu, where is he? Here he is. We can unlink him and finally retire him and get the Art of War. Great work. So as soon as he has an action point available, that's what we're going to do with him. He served us very well, but his time has officially come. Hopefully we all learned a little something from the master of warfare. And Germany is no doubt going to be upset with me moving my units kind of close to his border, but you know, that's what happens when you're preparing for war. But all this talk about war, though, it makes me think about Halo Wars. They're coming out with a new DLC in a couple of days, and I'm considering playing it. The game left a very sour taste in my mouth after it first launched. I played through the campaign, and it was a lot of fun. And after I was done with the campaign, I thought to myself, hey, I want to play some multiplayer now. But because I bought the game on PC, I couldn't do that. The PC version of Halo Wars 2 was riddled with frame rate issues for 90% of the people that were playing it. Like, normally, there's always going to be a little bit of trouble from PC to PC with performance and all that stuff. But Halo Wars 2 was just this whole other level of being poorly optimized and poorly performing. So, like, you load up a multiplayer match and your frame rate goes from a nice clean and crisp 60 and it drops down to 3. The fuck? It was really bad. All right, and that just left a bad taste in my mouth. So I didn't play the game pretty much at all. You know, I did a couple of matches once they finally patched it out, and it was a lot of fun. But I still just had this bitterness. And where the hell do I... Oh, it has to be in a district that has a great work slot. And doesn't look like Colony has... Oh, I can put it in my 1 theater square district. That'll be interesting. Man, I'm behind it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we got to take over the world before the game just ends abruptly from us not having any science, culture, or anything, really. This is bad. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay, now I'm worried, but I'm confident at the same time, or at least I'm trying to be. So yeah, even though it's left a bad taste in my mouth, I'm trying to kind of get over that a little bit and say, you know what, the game's not going to be shit forever, and it's not shit anymore. They fixed it up. There's no longer the frame rate issues, so I should play it and have a good time with it. So maybe I'll do some content for the new DLC leader. He seems like a lot of fun because I'm a big fan of Halo. So you know, just the fact that I'm getting to use all of the characters from Halo in one of my favorite game genres of all time, which is real-time strategy, that makes the game insanely fun for me. But just that, you know, it's just bad. You know, because whenever something bad happens in gaming, you get that I'm never going to do this again mentality with it. You know, like whenever Ubisoft releases a new title, everybody is very quick to jump on the bandwagon of, oh my god, this game is so bad. Ubisoft are just trying to get money from us. How dare they? These evil corporations, blah blah blah. And then you've got the guys that say we're never buying this game again. And I'm in that mentality a little bit with Halo Wars. I'm thinking to myself, I'm never gonna buy something off the Microsoft store again. I'm never gonna buy another Halo game again. I mean, and if they don't make them on PC, then I never will, because I'm probably never gonna buy a console again. But you know, just all those thoughts of, you know, never, never, never. But it's just hyperbole. It's not really accurate to how I feel. It's just anger and frustration as well, because you know, because with enough time heals all wounds, right? So I'll forget about how pissy I was when the game first came out, and how frustrated I was about my $60 purchase that I couldn't get refunded. You know what? Military, more military. Knights, go, more production. Windy Valley. Windy Valley is the only city right now that isn't building military units, and it's mainly because I don't have an encampment there. Their housing is capped at 15. There's not too much I can do to raise that up. I could build a couple more farms and whatnot, but I don't have much space for anything else. And as soon as their population goes to 17, I'm gonna build an entertainment complex because we all can see that I need it. I don't want to be in that negative amenity space. And you know, as soon as I start moving these units out of Rogel Dorn or out of all of my cities actually, to start the fight, they're going to drop down in amenities as well. But again, the cool thing about Macedonia is that they don't accrue war weariness. So even once I start fighting, I'm not going to have to worry about our people getting sad because of the fighting. In fact, they like the fighting. They love it. They love the fighting. There we go. I'm trying to get my guys in a good position before the fighting starts, so that once we start pushing forward, I'll have a line of archers, a line of cavalry, and then a line of spearmen as well. The spearmen are going to be pretty far behind, and maybe I won't even need them. Because there aren't any military units nearby Baltimore. So maybe the spearman could just be a backup. It looks like he's just got a bunch of archers near Trier. And yeah, maybe the fact that Germany's been at war with both France and Japan for the last couple turns, I won't have to deal with too much.
Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win.
Oh my goodness, Sun Tzu just hyped me up. So that was a beautiful quote from Sun Tzu, and with the way it sounds, I kind of just want to go to war right now, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to build a couple more units, make sure I'm absolutely prepared, and then we're going to whoop that ass. I think I'll be able to just stomp through, take the city, possibly take 2 cities out of it. Maybe even 3 if I've got enough health remaining. And then really start coming back into this fight. We are, though, seeing a little bit of that snowballing effect with our gaining science per military unit produced. It's making the techs go just marginally faster. It's not, it's not lightning speed. It's not out of control by any means, but it is giving us a little bit of an edge. So now that we have the encampment with the unique building in Rogel Dorn, I just purchased it with gold in case you're listening and not watching. I am going to now build a couple of catapults. They're probably not going to be that effective because of the strength of the walls. I think he has medieval walls at this point, but it'll still be nice to have them. And my boy High Marshal Jaeger, I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. But you know what? All right. I'm trying to be as intelligent about the way I start this war as possible. And I think the final piece of the puzzle is going to be... Oh, I've got too many units now. And the final piece to the puzzle is... I'm going to try and get open borders from America. I don't think he'll do that because he's denounced me. Yeah, you can't open borders with somebody that's denounced you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 4 more turns so that I can have gunpowder, and then I'll be able to upgrade my 2 remaining Macedonian unique units. And then the battle will begin. And this apostle... He has the chaplain ability, which provides extra healing to nearby units. So I'll make sure to keep him in the fight so that he can continue to heal up our frontline combatants. So yeah, 4 turns, and this is gonna kick off. So we're gonna pause for just a moment and fast forward through the 4 turns. Okay. We're not waiting all the 4 turns because I don't think we're going to need to. I think we're going to see firsthand the effects of churning out military units with that unique building. So right now, gunpowder is going to take 2 more turns to finish researching. And I don't know how to tell how much science is remaining on it. I can only see how much science it takes to complete, which is 972. But we're in this next turn. As soon as I hit that next turn button, I'm going to build a catapult, a pikeman, and a knight all at the same time. So all of that should be enough extra science trickled over to make gunpowder finish in a single turn. Because it's a little bit abstract, like having that benefit, unless you see it tick up your research really in a major way. So I think we're finally gonna see that happen. Wait for it. Wait for it. How I Met Your Mother. Keep waiting for it. Neil Patrick Harris. Oh my goodness. All right, well, fuck this game. All right, but we see it. It ticked up really far. Just when you think things are going well, when you think things are gonna go in your favor a little bit, something stupid like that happens. But we've built a considerable amount of military units now. That doesn't necessarily mean I can or should turn away from military production, but in some of my other cities, I'm going to start working on other things. Oh, shit. Oh, man. It doesn't look like Germany is doing pretty well because some barbarians just spawned in his city. So this war is going to be very easy because Germany is on the struggle bus right now. And we've finally advanced to the Renaissance era. And what that means is we have gunpowder.
The real use of gunpowder is to make all men tall. You can't go around arresting the Thieves Guild. I mean, we'd be at it all day.
Oh man, this is pretty exciting. This is pretty exciting. Even though we're not as technologically advanced as the people we're fighting, the fact that the fact that Germany's been fighting a war on 2 fronts means he's going to be a little bit squishy. And he's on the struggle bus pretty hard right now. So we are going to be able to ride through his lands and utterly dominate him. So before I declare war, and it's unfortunate that we're not going to be able to see the fighting today, because I'll be damned if it's not exciting, because it is very exciting. This is going to get saucy, folks. This is going to get real saucy. So I'm gonna tie up all the loose ends. I'm finally going to shift over from building military stuff to may as well build a mosque. May as well get some faith going, because as soon as we get theocracy, I'll be able to purchase military units with faith, which is pretty cool. Windy Valley. There's nothing I really need to do with Windy Valley, which is kind of unfortunate. I'll leave it for later. I'll figure it out in a minute. Colony, though, get to work on a tavern. That is a unique improvement. I believe that's provided by the Civ Improvements Patch, but it gives us an extra amenity in our entertainment district. And Rogel Dorn. There's nothing that I need to build anywhere, but a royal court is actually something I've been looking to build. It gives you an extra influence point per turn, which will possibly allow us to take control of some city-states, which may put us back in the game a little bit. You know what? Let's build one in Windy Valley as well. And to finish it off, we'll send off some envoys. Boom. And now, Frederick Barbarossa has done us the honor of denouncing us several turns ago. But even though that is the case, declaring a formal war has a heavy penalty. But damn it, I'm Macedonia. I don't give a fuck about anything. You put your hand on your hips all you want. We coming to get you. I have defeated enemies 10 times as powerful as you. You will just be one more for the historians. Those are intimidating words. And of course, Gandhi's finally going to be upset with me. We've been friends for about 1,000 years. I declare war. He's like, bro, what are you doing? Have my back, Gandhi. That's all I'm asking for. Now, we've got to get out of range of this privateer as quickly as possible because it's going to start shooting at our units pretty soon. But I'm not too worried about it. I don't think I'm going to lose any units because of that. But Germany is going to start losing units. So let's get into it. Let's just start advancing. We're going to be able to surround the city straight away. Look at that movement. Look at these knights putting in the serious business. Just get them all up in his territory. All up in his territory, and then move the crossbowmen in as well. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, this is going to be interesting. So Catherine just denounced me and declared war on me. Hojo also declared war on me. So we're technically in a triple war right now, but I'm feeling confident. I got to go into this feeling confident about my abilities. We've got a considerable number of units, so we should be okay. It's always stupid when they think I'm warmongering, because they were just at war. We're taking a lot of shots, though. We've already lost a unit, but I've got faith. Yeah, I think we got this. It's a little bit tricky, again, because, like, this always happens to me. One thing I'm not very good at in Civ is maneuvering ridiculously large numbers of units and getting them into the proper positions. So as we can see, my positioning is just a little bit off again. And maybe I could have waited an extra turn before going to war, but damn it, it's okay. It's okay. We got this in the bag. Let me just send out some trade routes. All right, yeah, his cities are pretty tough, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. They've got those medieval walls, and our catapults aren't in position yet. But damn it, we can take this thing out in a couple of turns, and I think that's what we're gonna aim to do. Because what I want to try and do is get that encampment off my back. This thing is gonna be shooting at me, so I'm gonna get this city down as quickly as possible. You know, I think we need to see the conquest in full force. We really need to see the conquest just going well. And before we end up, I'm gonna take Baltimore because we can. The might of Macedonia. We may not have our heterois and our unique swordsmen anymore, but our former guys that were using spears, they're using lances now. All right. The guys that used to be, you know, that used to be swordsmen, they've got rifles, they've got muskets. So we're in a good place. Well, it looks like in the midst of the chaos, Germany has built a bunch of skyscrapers, which no doubt means they've advanced to a new era, but I'm not so much concerned with that because our numbers will still be enough to deal with them. I think our catapults are a little bit out of date now at this point. It's getting dookie blasted by his cities, but hey, it's a unit, and it's going to be able to tank through some damage for us. So let's go ahead and fire some rocks at these skyscrapers and get a little bit of damage out. I mean, it's working. It is working, so I can't complain. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. This crossbowman is taking a beating. But I can promote him, but I'm not going to promote him just yet. I'm going to take the city. All right, for real this time. We got to close out. I've been going for too long. Let's start banging our heads against this city. Our musketmen, major victory. So our knights, I think they did a patch at some point that made horsemen less effective against buildings and sieging districts, which kind of makes sense. I get why they did that. So, unfortunately, though, we're still going to have to take the city with some horses. So, Get in there. There you go. That was a swift and very decisive victory. Baltimore, it's changing hands once again, and because they had a campus and a theater square district, we're going to get some Eurekas out of it. So we're coming back into this fight. And I thought this encampment was part of Baltimore, so we're still going to take a little bit of damage from that. But, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty textbook. The plan now is going to be to shift our attention to Berlin. And it's going to be a pretty decisive victory again. We're going to make sure this time that we have our strongest units at the front. We don't even necessarily need the catapults at this point because they are significantly out of date, but we're gonna try and make use of everything that we have. At the very least, the catapults could attack something else. Like maybe the catapults could focus on a different city while we go for Berlin. But whatever the case is, I had a lot of fun with Macedonia today, and there's plenty more fun to be had. If you can't tell, oh, I could liberate this city, but fuck that. If you can't tell, I want to keep going and continue playing Civ until the end of days, but can't do that. So, as always, the name of the game is Civilization 6. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.